everybody, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to be talking about the books that I want to read in the month of September. If you haven't already, go watch my August reading wrap up. I posted that a couple days ago. It would be my last video on my page. I talked about all the books that I read in that month, obviously. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already and go turn on my post notifications so you get a notification every time I upload. Let's go ahead and get right into talking about the books that I want to read in the month of September. I upped my TBR a little bit this month in hopes to read a little bit more. I've got a little mixture of book genres and I've got a series in here. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't know if this is necessarily the order that I'll be reading them in, but these are just all the books that I want to read. We've got the Paradise Trilogy by Elin Hilderbrand. This is a series that I've really been wanting to read. I was hoping to read it during summer, but you know, you can never go wrong with reading a good summery book. So we've got book 1, which is Winter in Paradise, book 2, which is What Happens in Paradise, and book 3, which is Troubles in Paradise. The main character in this book finds out that her husband died in a helicopter crash on the islands of St. John, and she is like, why is my husband even on St. John? This doesn't make any sense. I don't know why he's there. I thought he was gone for like work stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what she thinks. Anyways, she's confused as to why her husband was even on the islands of St. John, so she decides to go there and figure out what happened. And when she gets there, she hears from the locals that her husband is very well known and very well loved. He was living like a whole second life on these islands, and so basically you just get to see all of that unravel, and I think that sounds really interesting. I can't even imagine what would happen if that actually was like your real life. These are all around 300 pages. The first one's the shortest, the second one's a little bit longer, and the third one's the longest. So I think I could definitely get through these this month. I have a bad problem with buying books when I have a ton of stuff to still on my TBR to read. So I'm putting myself on a book buying ban until I bring down my TBR a little bit. I do plan on doing a video where I tell you everything that's on my physical TBR because there's a lot on there. I need to hold myself accountable and read more so that I can justify it whenever I buy all these books. But yeah, that's the first thing that I want to read is the Paradise Trilogy. Then we're switching it up a little bit, and I've got The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've heard this series is so good. There's this book, and then The Hawthorne Legacy, and then a third book that like just came out. I'm pretty sure like today maybe. Actually, let me look that up. So it's called The Final Gambit, and it came out August 30th, so like 2 days ago. I only have the first book. I don't have the second or third. But obviously I need to read the first one to know if I even like it, to know if I even want to buy the next two. So we're gonna switch it up and read this. This is a YA like mystery type book, but I've heard that there's a little bit of sub genre of a romance, so that's nice because I do read a lot of romance books. But I am excited to switch it up. We'll see how I like this. Then this is a book that's been on my TBR for so freaking long. It is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This book is so popular and so widely loved. This is people's like favorite book of all time. So I'm very excited to read this. Like I said, it's been on my TBR for forever. I could never find the physical copy in Barnes & Noble, so I was going to just order it. But then I found it in a Barnes & Noble in Jacksonville, North Carolina. So I picked it up, and I was in North Carolina in June. And it's currently September, so this has been sitting on my TBR for quite a while, so I really need to read it this month. Very excited about this one. Then we've got another Taylor Jenkins Reid book. If you haven't watched my previous book videos, I've talked about how Taylor Jenkins Reid has quickly been becoming one of my favorite authors. I can confidently say she is one of my favorite authors. Her and Colleen Hoover. Her, Colleen, and Emily Henry are probably my 3 favorite authors. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. Believe it or not, I haven't read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo or Daisy Jones and the Six. If you've watched any of my book videos, you know that. And I really need to get around to reading those, but I've already got 2 more of her books on my shelf, so I need to get through those before I buy any more of her books. So we've got Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, obviously. This sounds so interesting. If you haven't seen the movie on Netflix called Look Both Ways, I think that's what it's called. It's new. The concept of that movie and this book are very similar. It's like, if I make this decision, this is what my life will pan out like. If I make this decision, this is what my life will pan out like. So I think that's a really interesting concept, and obviously I have total faith and confidence in Taylor Jenkins Reid that she's gonna crush this. So I'm very excited to read this. Taylor Jenkins Reid books are books that I can like fly through because I just love them so much, and I think they're so interesting and captivating. This book is just a little bit over 300 pages, so shouldn't be too hard to get through, but I'm very, very excited. And then if you watched my August reading wrap up, you'll know that I started reading After We Collided by Anna Todd, the second book in the After series, and I didn't get it finished. So I would like to try to finish that, but I think I'm gonna take a break from it because I feel like it's kind of putting me in a reading slump, and we're just gonna back up a little bit. It's over 600 pages and I'm only like a little over 100 pages into it, so I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna finish reading what's next on my TBR, which is the Mind F series by St. Abbey. I'm on the 4th book. There's 5 books in the series and I am so excited to finish it. The 4th book is really good so far. I talked all about my ratings and my feelings about the first 3 books in my August reading wrap up, so go watch that. Like I've told you 50 million times already. But yeah, I am on the 4th book of that. I want to finish that and then also read the 5th book. I'm reading those on my Kindle app on my phone, and I also want to, there's like one big collective book that you can buy of this series, and I'm thinking I'm gonna order that just so I can like have it on my shelf because I like to have all the books on my shelf that I've read before. Let's quickly run through one more time all the books that are on my TBR. We have the Paradise trilogy by Elin Hilderbrand, Winter in Paradise, What Happens in Paradise, and Troubles in Paradise. Then we've got The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We've got Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, attempt to finish After We Collided by Anna Todd, and then the 4th and 5th book in the Mind F series by St. Abbey. So overall, that is 8, potentially 9 books if I finish the... What I was saying is that's 8, potentially 9 books if I finish After We Collided. I do have some thriller books that I want to read coming up, but I want to do a thriller reading vlog in the month of October because obviously October, spooky vibes, Halloween, duh. But I've got 2 on my shelves right now that I want to read, and I want to get a couple more for that reading vlog. So if you have any good thriller suggestions, put them down below and I might go pick them up for that video. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and turn on my post notifications so that you get notified every time I upload a video. Also, make sure you go follow me on all my social medias. They're always linked in the description down below. I would really appreciate it. That's all I got for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you